Hey there everyone, I want to share a story today that really hit home for me. It's about a young man named Mateo, who lived in a beautiful village in the Cordillera Mountains. Mateo was a farmer, just like his father and grandfather before him. But unlike them, Mateo had big dreams of becoming rich. So, our story begins with Mateo out in the fields, harvesting potatoes. His Lola Icing, wise and grounded, watched him as she knitted. Lola Icing said, "Mateo, these potatoes look fine, enough to feed the family and sell a little at the market." But Mateo scoffed, "Lola, this is barely enough. I want more. I want to be rich." Lola Icing, with all her wisdom, gently reminded him, "Wealth isn't just about money, Mateo. It's about contentment and community." Mateo, ignoring her, said, "I saw Miguel in town boasting about his new land and profits. He said he made a fortune from coffee. I'll do the same." Determined to strike it rich, Mateo neglected his traditional farming methods and took on fast-growing cash crops. He borrowed heavily from Miguel, a shrewd businessman with a manipulative nature. Miguel, always with that cold smile, said, Good, more coffee beans, more profit for us both. Remember, the more you produce, the more you owe." Mateo worked tirelessly, pushing himself and the land to the brink. He neglected his family, and the once fertile land began to show signs of exhaustion. The coffee plants struggled. One day, Lola Icing, her voice full of concern, said, "Mateo, the land is tired. You've pushed it too hard." But Mateo, frustrated, snapped back, "It doesn't matter. I'll make enough to pay Miguel back, then I'll buy more land." But fate had other plans. The harvest failed. Mateo's coffee plants were diseased and produced little. He was deeply in debt to Miguel. Miguel, with a smirk, said, "I told you this was risky, Mateo. You owe me a lot more now. Your land, it's mine now." Mateo was devastated. He lost his farm and his family's legacy. Alone and heartbroken, he reflected on his actions. But Lola Icing, ever the comforting presence, approached him and offered a comforting hand. "Mateo, greed blinds us. It makes us forget what truly matters: family, community, and the land that sustains us." Mateo, filled with remorse, looked at his grandmother. He realized the true cost of his ambition. Slowly, he began to rebuild his life, focusing on sustainable practices and the simple joys of life. Quietly, Mateo said, "You were right, Lola. I was blinded by greed." In the final scene, we see Mateo working alongside his grandmother, tending to a small garden. He learned the value of sustainable farming and community, finding peace in simpler things. Mateo understood that true wealth lies not in money, but in family and the land. So remember, folks, sometimes the richest life is the simplest one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to cherish what truly matters. See you next time.